Hi, grade nines. We are looking at the second part of the lesson where we are going to use a spreadsheet to try and help us a little bit with doing this more efficiently. So open up Microsoft Excel, start a new workbook. Please save this somewhere that you will be able to find again. We're going to be using this for probably the next couple of weeks. So we want to keep being able to get back to it. Okay, so the idea is that we are going to try and recreate this worksheet that you've been working from so that we can get Excel to do this for us and we're not having to do all these calculations. So I'm going to start by setting it up in the same way. I'm going to write in a lot of the same titles, and it's going to look quite similar. As we're working through this, please make sure you are asking each other if you need help. Please make sure you are pausing the video if things are going too quickly. For now, I'm just writing in all the information that I had beforehand. So I've got the month, the principal amount, the interest, the repayment, and the balance. Okay, so at first it will probably seem like it's taking more time, obviously, because we're doing something new, but you will see very quickly, I hope, how much more efficient this is going to be. Okay, so the month, we want it to type in the months. I don't want to type in all these months. Ideally, we want to be able to go all the way down until we finish repaying. I don't know how long that's going to take. I mean, we did 5 months and we've gone down about 1,500. So we've made a bit of a dent on the 20,000, but I'm not sure how long it'll take. If you type in the first 2 months and then you highlight both of them, so I've just dragged over both of them, you'll notice a little green square in the bottom right. It's down here. And when I hover my cursor over that, my cursor goes from a white cross to a black cross. And now if I click and drag down, it will copy what I'm doing, and it can see that I'm going up by 1 each time. Okay, and you can see if I let go, I've gone up to 8. If instead I only do this on the 0, that one cell, Excel just thinks that I want it to make lots of zeros. So that's not so good. So we've got to show it that we're going up by 1 each time. Of course, if we wanted to go up by 5 each time, we just show it that that's what we're doing. Okay, but we're trying to recreate this worksheet. So I'm going to drag it down, a bit further than I planned. That's 400 odd. I'm not too bothered about how far I've gone, but yeah, we should probably go at least, maybe go up to about 200-ish. Okay, the first thing we did is we wrote in 20,000 in the balance. Okay, and then the next thing we did is we looked at month 1 and we said, okay, well, the principal amount is the same as the balance from the previous month. Now, to make this spreadsheet work things out in a kind of clever way, instead of writing in 20,000 again, I'm going to write in equals, and then I'm going to click on that. Okay, so now mine says equals E8, and I'm going to press enter. So what it's going to do, I'm going to copy this down. Every time, every line, it's going to look at the previous balance. So instead of us writing in every time, it's going to look back up a line at the previous balance and copy that in. Okay, so we will copy that down as well. And it's just filled up with zeros, and I guess that's because I don't have anything in the next balance. If I put a number in, it will copy it in. Okay, after we did that, we worked out the interest and we found 1%. So I said that is the principal amount was 100%, and I divided it by 100. That's what we did in this little T table. So I want to do that again. I want to get Excel to take the principal amount and I want it to divide it by 100. So the division symbol on Excel is this slash. So I've done, let's do that again. I've done equals. Equals tells Excel that it is going to have to do some work for us. And I've clicked on the principal. and I've written divide by 100 and then enter. Oh, and there we go, there's my 200. That's good, it's what I got before, so we can kind of verify that we're on the right track. Let's copy this down. Okay, lots of zeros. If we wanted to test that it's working, maybe we could choose another number for the balance. 5,000, 1% of 5,000 is 50. It looks like it's working, that's good. Okay, then we thought about the repayment. Well, we've set up the top here that the repayment is 500. So let's just put that in there. And I can copy it down. It will always be 500. Okay, and then the last step. Hopefully you are taking your time. You're working through this. You're not just copying in the numbers, but you're actually writing in the formulae where it's appropriate. Do check in with your neighbour, the people around you, make sure they're okay. All right, the last step. We worked out the balance. I would really encourage you to have a go at doing this on your own. So start off with an equal sign and think, how did we find the balance? So pause the video, give it a go. All right, hopefully, if you had a go, you've got an answer in this box that says 19,700. If you haven't, this is what we should be doing. We took the amount we started with at the beginning of the month. We added on the interest, which is in the next cell. And then we subtracted our repayment because we paid 500 off. Okay, so you can see up the top here, we can edit things. Like we can, if we've made a mistake somewhere, we can go, oh, it was a plus or it was a minus. We can see that Excel color codes the cells for us, and in here, like on the workspace, we can see that they're colored in the same way to try and make it easier to see what's happening. Okay, when we press enter, it calculates it as 19,700. That's great. Now this is the bit where we see like what we've been working towards. So I'm going to drag this down, and now we've got lots of numbers obviously, but it has copied in the 19,700 for month 2, which is what we did. It's found the interest, 197. We said the repayments 500, and then it's calculated the balance for us. And you can see it has, if we click up the top here, you can see what it's doing. It has taken the principal, it's added on the interest, it's subtracted the repayment, just like we did. And if we want, we can check our first 5 months. We should be getting roughly the same values. One thing I notice is we rounded because we had money, and Excel does not seem to realize that. So what we can do is we can tell Excel that we want to think of this as money. Now, how should I do that? I guess I should highlight the ones that I've got the numbers in. So I've just dragged down these the numbers on the side. I'm going to do a 2-finger click, and I'm going to format my cells. And I'm going to say I want a number with 2 decimal places so that it's money. Oh, I'm regretting that now. Now my months have 2 decimal places. That's not so good. Okay, so maybe I just want to do the money cells. Okay, so I've just highlighted the ones with money in, and I'm going to do the same thing now. 2-finger click, format the cells, and we're saying that they're money with 2 decimal places. Okay, so now these values look similar. You can see end of month 5, we had 18,469 euros 17. You notice my Excel is we've got the German decimal separator, so it's using a decimal comma instead of a decimal point. Depending on which region your laptop is set to, it may be a point or it may be a comma. Okay, if I wanted to figure out when I had paid back my loan, I'm looking for 0 in my balance. It's probably not going to be exactly 0. Yeah, you can see in month 51, I still owed 167 euro. And in month 52, I'm in negative. So that means I've paid back too much. So in a real world context, in month 52, we wouldn't pay back 500, we'd just pay back what is left that we owe, and then that would be the end. Okay, we're going to do a lot more with this over the next few lessons. Please make sure you've saved it. Please go through and check that you've used formulae for these. And a really good way of doing that is seeing if I change my balance up here, maybe I make it, I don't know, 400, everything should change. If I change my repayment, everything should change. And anything else. Yeah, so that's what we should be looking for. We should be saying, if I change how much I borrow at the start, everything else should update. Okay, save your work. Well done. We will be looking at this more next week. Remember, there is a Sparks task due on Wednesday.